mastermind, never tried, tell them all. Big dreams, I got big dreams since like baby. I've been joining forces with the likes of an A-team. Jumping off of buildings used to be so stimulating. Now I'm reaching new heights, I'ma need the off-white. The deadline, I'm ahead time, the rare kind. I'm a living legend, lethal weapon, mastermind. Big time.
And welcome on into Command Center. Julie Donaldson, Logan, Paulsen, and joining us today is none other than the Captain London Fletcher. London, good to have you out here at camp. Bring back some memories. Do you have a favorite one?
Man, I enjoyed training camp. As crazy as that sounds, I was wired a little differently. I will say this, I can remember my first training camp here in Washington, and we used to have to do 40 up downs before practice got really going, and I can remember being exhausted all the way through halfway through the practice. So that's a memory. I don't know if it's a favorite memory, but it brings back memories.
I've heard those stories before from Coach Gibbs. Goodness. I have.
They don't do training camp like that anymore. This is probably like, walking the beach. Or,
You know we used to do 3 a days, right?
Yeah, get out of here with that.
Intimidation, that was the key to London's game. But since you are here, we do need to talk about the linebackers and how intimidating they may be, because if you have said many times, the linebackers set the tone on defense. So coming up in today's show, 2021 first-round draft pick Jamin Davis now has a year under his belt. And Cole Holcomb has been a steady presence, leading the team in tackles last year with 142. But what is Ron Rivera expecting from his unit this season?
You see a lot of good positive things from Jamin right now. He's much more comfortable in what we're doing and how we're doing it. He's picked up the way we do things in terms of reads and drops. Reading through his drops and understanding the concepts is really big, and he's done a nice job with that. So very pleased with that. As with Cole, Cole's done a nice job stepping into the Mike position from the start. Last year he was more of a Sam for us, a Will for us, and then when JB got injured, we moved him to Mike, and he really showed very well. Now's an opportunity to work on that skill set. He's done a very good job.
Jamin, he's progressing a lot. I think I'm proud of where Jamin's at. I'm happy where he's at, and I think he's giving me a lot of confidence. I don't have to worry about him. I don't have to think about him.
Here's a look at the production from Jamin and Cole last season. Holcomb with the team high 142 combined tackles and recorded a pick 6 against the Cowboys in Week 14. We love seeing that. Jamin Davis, meanwhile, recorded his first career sack against Jalen Hurts and the Eagles in Week 17. So let's talk a little bit about the expectation of the linebackers. You had the opportunity to kind of watch them at practice here in London. Jamin Davis last year was a little bit of a learning curve coming on, and even for Cole Holcomb, as John Bostic went down trying to learn to take over that Mike position. They did not go out in free agency and bring in a veteran linebacker. It was very early on, but what were you able to see from them at practice and where they kind of stand and what we can expect?
Well, you can tell that both guys are more comfortable in the role that they're playing this year. Think about Jamin coming in last year as a rookie, being a one-year starter at Kentucky, playing outside linebacker, and then they wanted him to play the middle linebacker position, which I think is the most difficult position on the defense because of your responsibilities. You have to communicate to everybody, get everybody lined up, and still do your job. So it was a little bit too much for him to put on his plate, and they decided to move him to outside linebacker. Let him use his athleticism, his size. The guy's 6'3". I met him today for the first time, and I was impressed with his size. And with Cole Holcomb having a full offseason to play the middle linebacker position, he's comfortable in his role, the communication and the playmaking that's going to be on his plate as well. So I think both guys will have a great season because they're in the positions that are best suited for them.
And I think another thing is people don't talk about this with the Mike linebacker specifically is that you can attack that position from multiple angles, right? Because you're right smack dab in the middle of the defense. You get route concepts that mesh through there. You get running schemes that attack that position. So it takes a lot of time on task to get really efficient there. And I think for Jamin moving outside, like London said, he's only got to see half of that. He's only got to see half of those blocking schemes, half of those kind of combinations, route concepts. So I think that's just going to lead to more production from him.
If we talk about depth, well, a lot of the focus just is on Cole and Jamin.
Sure.
And a lot of that is because of the way that they want to run this defense with the nickel, with the Buffalo nickel position alive. What concern is there for depth, or maybe with the way that they do want to run the schemes? Does this work?
I mean, I personally think it works. I mean, people are in nickel 60% of the time now, even on first down, right? So that is going to be a big part of what they do. You don't need quite as many linebackers. The reason you carry a lot of linebackers is for special teams value. But here on this team, you've got defensive linemen, Casey Tuhill, James Smith-Williams. They can do that special teams role. And then Mayo is a guy that has been very, very solid. He might be a little bit limited athletically, but very productive, very physical football player. And Cleek Hudson has tremendous athleticism. So I think you feel pretty solid about what they're bringing here. And then with the Cinco package, again, you play one linebacker in that nickel look. So the volume isn't quite as important as in years past, maybe.
Well, it could be concerning if you go against a team where they say, okay.
Like Tennessee, for example.
Yeah, and they know Washington, they love to play a defensive back as that third linebacker or that safety as a kind of hybrid linebacker. And they may decide, hey, we're going to get in 3 tight end sets of formations and personnel groupings and just run the ball down their throat. Can they withstand that? Can they hold up against that type of personnel group? And that's where you may be a bit concerned. But from a depth standpoint, I think Mayo can fill in at both the linebacker positions. Kaliki Hudson, he showed some flash in a couple starts that he's made. The athleticism, the speed. So not too concerned about the depth, but if teams decide that they want to just focus on running the football and 2 and 3 tight end sets, how do we hold up against that type of personnel group?
Sure.
It's also a testament to the trust and the faith that they're putting in Cole Holcomb taking that step, to the growth and development of Jamin. You talk about his athletic ability. It's there. They believe that hopefully this season, with him grasping the defense a little bit better, that he will be able to play faster, quicker, not have to stop and think, because if you do that for 1 second, you're behind the play. But he's picking up on it, and we're excited to see how that unit does come together as camp goes on. Speaking of linebackers, let's talk about a former linebacker with the Chicago Bears, and of course here the Commanders head coach Ron Rivera. He is preparing for his 3rd season in the nation's capital. After leading the team to a division title and playoff berth, Ron hopes to lead the team back to the postseason this fall and knows that building a championship caliber team starts in the offseason. Here's the head coach mic'd up at camp.
Morning, Kelvin. How you doing today? Good.
What's up, Coach?
What's up, Terry? How you doing, man?
Yeah, I see that rollie on your wrist.
I've had this. What do you mean? Had this.
It must be shining super crazy.
There you go. I've had this. Now, what you doing? You get something to eat this morning? All right, BR. Take care of yourself. Just talking about leading the league in interception. I think to myself, we caught the ones we should have last year. Where's Chris at? Hey, Chris! Where's Chris Harris at? Chris! Come here. Well, just so you know. I was telling Bobby, I came in last night. I went back and looked at the MOPs because you were talking about leading the league in interception. I said, well, so we can cut the ones that we had last year. We'd have led the league again. I'm being serious. Go back and look at that.
We did have some drops.
I know, but if you look at it, you sit there and go, wait a minute. I mean, I asked Bobby. Bobby said, yeah, I should have had 7 last year.
Yeah, Bobby dropped.
I know. So I was riding them a little bit, and then they started laughing about Chris. And I said, oh. So then I called you over. You come running. They said, oh, that hurt Chris. I'm just telling you what they said. I ain't making anything up. All right. Tell you what, you guys really want to impress me. Let's see if we can get under this little one.
AG's the only one that got a shot at that. How about that? I can do it.
I'll show you, Coach. Yeah, I'm not sure how you'd have to bend much, huh? That's it. Use that personality.
I can't believe you didn't think I was smart. I got like 20 pictures from the team, and about 6 of them I was ear to ear, Coach.
6 out of 20. That's 3 out of 10. Now, if we were playing Major League Baseball, you'd make $1 gazillion. Ooh. There we go. Hey, good tempo from yesterday, same as yesterday. Keep your heads out of the drill, play with your hands. DBs, defer to the receivers unless you got it. Come on. Hey. Play with our hands, play with our hands.
If you enjoyed that, then make sure to come out to our open practice this Saturday, August 6th at FedEx Field. Coach will address everybody in attendance as he is opening up practice for you to see firsthand. Head over to commanders.com for more information and to get your free tickets. Coming up, we send Logan and London into the film room to show us what areas our linebacking unit can grow in this upcoming season. Plus, more coverage from this year's training camp, including a look at how the players are bonding off the field. We'll be right back. With the players putting on pads, the intensity at practice has been heating up, and the defense was just a little bit of an advantage ahead of the offense. Well, they will be setting the tone this season as we get ready for our first game on August 13th. To break down the linebackers, since we have London Fletcher here with us, here is London and Logan.
Julie, thanks so much. Fletch, I'm so happy you're here today because we get to talk about linebackers. I know this group maybe a lot of people, maybe the fans think they underperformed last year, but I think there's a lot when you watch this tape to be excited about. So let's start with our guy, number 52, the first round pick from last year, Jamin Davis. And I love this play from him because it shows his tremendous range and a nice physicality too. What do you think, Fletch?
I love this. What I like is once he knows where the ball is going, just the instinct and just playing downhill. That's what we call running through your gap, playing downhill. Yeah. Right now, he sees us running. Freeze it. Yep. If you can freeze it right now, that's playing downhill, attacking the line of scrimmage. And then when he gets there, you mentioned the physicality. This is a great tackle by him.
And I think the other thing here about too is like if people question his awareness, like they're trying to throw him off here. They got this reverse action, quarterback's eyes this way, and still able, like you said, play downhill, arrive violently at the ball carrier. Love that.
All they want you to do with that action in the backfield to try to get you to just hesitate for a moment, get your eyes in the wrong place. But he wasn't fooled by any of that stuff that's going on in the backfield. He goes and makes a tackle for a loss.
Excellent. And other people say he had a hard time taking on blocks. As the year went on, though, I think he did a great job getting off blocks. The center's going to work up here to him, and he does a great job using those really long arms, keeping the center off of him, and making a play here. What do you like about this?
This is what you call shock and shedding, or getting off a block. As he sees the ball carrier coming back, cutting back, he gets rid of the center, gets rid of him, takes him on, and then comes back and makes a play. That right there, if he doesn't make that play, Logan, that's going to get up to the second level, and it's going to be on McCain to make that
play. A lot of grass there,
10 yards downfield. But by him having the instincts, getting rid of the center, throwing him, and coming back, not overrunning the play, coming back and making a play.
Fantastic play, right? And again, that shows a nice maturity here. And then this is the thing that I think is maybe most impressive about him. It's just he's a tremendous physically gifted athlete. And I know he's covered up here. He's got 3 guys covered up inside, but watch him tear to this football and make a tackle for a loss.
That right there, man. He looked like another 52. Ray Lewis running back down there. Here, Washington, they're in the Bear defense. Everybody's covered up. Right. Again, center's trying to get to him, uses his arm, gets outside of him, and the range. This is where you see that 4.5 speed, that athleticism to be able to go and make that play on the sideline.
Absolutely, and you love that. You love that he's got that ability, right? And then, so here we go. Let's take a look here. This is the next guy on our list. Next guy we're going to talk about is Cole Holcomb, obviously, the captain of the defense, the middle linebacker. And this right here, to me, shows all the tough stuff linebackers are getting in the NFL. You got a cross-shift action, you got a guard coming at you, and he's got to negotiate that because the offense is trying to throw this drift in behind him. Does a great job here, fitting this block, getting in the throwing lane, knocking the ball down.
That right there is teaching tape where a guy understands, hey, to get him with the play action, he takes a step back, but then gets out and gets into the throwing line, because if he's not there, that's
a nice. That's Robert Griffin III special right there, right? Yeah. Play action, get it going, and then he also does a great job taking on blocks. And you said something to me when we pulled this clip of just how awesome it is, because I see this, I see pulling guard. Every high school linebacker is like, oh, I got to get over here right now, but he understands this is trap, not power. And what's the difference about it?
For trap, he has to get underneath this lineman as opposed to getting over the top, and he recognizes that, and he does it at a split second. Boom, he sees the pulling guard.
Yes.
But then he sees this lineman coming off on him and gets underneath from inside block, falls back and makes a tackle.
And that's so tough to do that in a split second. It's really, really challenging. Again, I love this man's instincts here. What they're going to do, they're going to bring a jet motion action. They're going to run the running back this way. They're going to roll the quarterback here. And he has to diagnose all of that in a second. So let's take a look at it real quick. Does an excellent job here finding his spot and is able to make a tackle here on the ball carrier and punch the ball out late on the down, which is great.
That's for a play like that. That's him expanding his vision and seeing, hey, he knows he has to have his vision on this guy. Yeah. So as he comes back, He comes here and then he falls back and he's able to make a play. That's where you love his ability to expand his vision, seeing the sift action by the tight end behind the line of scrimmage and making that tackle.
And I think it shows a lot of growth by him as well, too, right? And then this one, I think, again, just showing tremendous athleticism, carrying this receiver. He's a receiver that's lined up as a running back, kind of like the McKissick of the group here. Like how tough is this to do? Because this is three deep, three underneath, right? 1, 2, 3, and they got 3 deep players here, and he's got this guy essentially man to man.
That's his guy, man to man. They're bringing the fire zone. He's a seam defender. And he sees that running back or wide receiver lined up at the running back position. I bet he's like, oh my goodness. But this is a great job by him, avoiding the pick route and then getting underneath and being able to make a play on the ball and breaking up that pass.
Yes, and I think there's a lot to be excited about there. Can't wait to watch them in the 2022 season. A lot to look forward to.
Absolutely love that inside look into what the guys are doing on the field. Now remember that each and every weekday, we're bringing you all the training camp coverage you will ever need on our Command Center Command Camp stream, showing you all the action from practice field and breaking down all the top storylines. You can watch it on the team's YouTube channel. And if you are out at practice, make sure to use the hashtag HTTC when posting about your experience, and we will feature it on the shows. Still to come, while there's plenty of action on the field during training camp, the players have a bit of downtime mixed in. Find out how they're keeping themselves entertained after this.
Going clockwise.
I don't know who created this game. It's silly, but it was a lot of fun. Of course, the winner is the one who does not spit the water out of their mouth being slapped by a tortilla. Okay, the guys are grinding on the field. They need a little way.
We should try that game.
You want to try that?
I want to try it.
Yeah.
Maybe you, Santana, and I would do it.
Yeah, we'll do it. That'd be good.
All right.
Maybe Julie.
Well, wait a second.
You said you didn't want to do it earlier, so don't have the cameras on. Don't be like, I want to be in it. No.
I don't play defense. I just want to do offense and be the one that just does this. I'm going to automatically find the win. Look, it's a lot of fun. I think the big part about camp and some of these fun games that we play with them is the bonding aspect. What are some of the things that you guys did just to build that camaraderie with the guys?
I'm really curious to see what you're going to say, because you played back in the day when you guys would do all sorts of crazy stuff. So I'm excited to hear what you got to say.
You know what? One of the things that we used to always do, we play pool, ping pong, cards, dominoes, things like that, because that's a part of training camp. That's what I loved about it. It's the opportunity. You're away from your family. You're with each other 24/7, and that was a great time to just spend time with each other, just playing cards, playing pool, ping pong, things like that.
Did you ever sneak out?
Hey man, it's in the past. What's the statute of limitations?
Probably good.
You know what? I never did. I never did, but I know guys who did, but I never did, man.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I remember is just you eat every meal together. You know, when we were down in Richmond, every single meal you with your teammates. So there, you kind of, two guys would pull out a deck of cards, start messing around, and you just talk. You get to learn about people's lives, their families, and it's something simple, but it's a big deal.
You know what was a great bonding experience? The rookie show.
Oh, yeah.
And I know some teams have kind of gotten away from it. It depends on the head coach and whether you have the rookie show. I'm not sure what Coach Rivera does.
Yeah,
but the rookie show it was always a great bonding experience.
They don't let cameras in that are record that. I think in later years, some of the guys would get out their cell phones and bring us some of that. Yeah. I wish we had video of probably what each of you both did for your rookie skits.
What goes on in the rookie show.
But here's the thing. One of the things about London is he is really about putting forth that work on the field, which is why you're in our Ring of Fame. And you're up for being voted into part of our 90 greatest players in franchise history as we're going into our 90th season, celebrating the anniversary of this franchise started back in 1932. You're already so recognized as being one of the best, of a legend for this franchise. But to be voted into the 90 greatest, what would that mean? You know,
it means a tremendous honor for me when you look at the franchise and storied history, 90 years. I mean, there's been some great players who have played and worn the burgundy and gold. For me to obviously, you mentioned being in the Ring of Fame, but to be possibly going into be considered one of the 90 greatest players who played in this franchise history, that means a lot to me because I took a lot of pride in representing the guys who played before me and also the guys who came behind me.
Julie, do they even need to vote for him, you think?
It feels like it's an automatic.
It's automatic. All the guys on the list.
If not, we'll count for a recount. No, of course. We're honored to have you here with us. Great to have you out at practice. And of course, you're going to be with us all season long as you're joining the radio broadcast booth with Bram and myself. Excited to get to work on that because football is back. Yes. And before we know it, he's going to be out in the field putting on pads. We know London misses it. That does it for this Command Center. Thanks for joining us for London and Logan. I'm Julie. It's hot, it's sticky, but we are still bringing you coverage.